Welcome back to British Stand, guys. I hope you're all well. Before we do get into today's live stream, as always, guys, please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for more. Now, do you remember the incident that occurred just over a week ago now? I believe it's around 8 days ago, where a individual went into a Argos warehouse and carried out a mass attack, stabbing 5 individuals. Whilst none of these stabbings were, of course, fatal, it does raise so many unanswered questions 8 days later. Now, just to let you know, I've been racking my brains around this one for quite a while. A mass attack. An individual walks in with a balaclava, with a Rambo knife, and causes mayhem. Goes on a rampage inside an Argos warehouse and stabbing loads of people. Again, into the chest, into the sides, and looking to really inflict some serious damage. And again, a week apart from the initial reporting of the story, we've not heard any more on this incident 8 days later, despite an arrest having already been made. We're going to be discussing what was there about it. I've also contacted the Metropolitan Police on behalf of British Stand, asking for some answers, and I was giving them the benefit of the doubt, and waited quite a while and still not received any further update on this incident. But again, just raises so many unanswered questions. Now, I want to go through a little bit on the situation and what the reports that we had at the time were. So, of course, a man was arrested after he went on a rampage inside a Argos warehouse, stabbing 5 people. And again, just to reiterate, none of those were fatal. However, one was taken to a sort of major trauma centre, but it said that none of the injuries were said to be life-threatening. However, we got a statement, essentially, from this individual, and he gave his account of what went down inside the warehouse, and it sounded terrifying. It sounded like something out of a horror film. And just to reiterate what he said the individual didn't say a word. He stabbed 2 people in the chest. One had a big gash in his arm. I think someone was being stabbed in the side as well. We locked ourselves in the office. He was banging on the door. Then we heard shouting and stuff, so we opened the door because it sounded like they were getting murdered. At which point he sprinted back at me. I couldn't shut it in time, so he got halfway through the door and he was stabbing at my neck and chest like this, and I was deflecting it. I managed to grab his wrist, and that was when he sliced my finger open. Then I punched him. I tried to headbutt him. I pushed him out to the door and squashed his ankle with the door. I picked up the fire extinguisher and hit him around the head with it. There was women in the room behind us, so if I wasn't there, he would have gone through to them. So this is of Joseph Denton, who is at the scene, and he describes absolute horror. Again, a man on a rampage that was stabbing at people's chests, stabbing at people's necks, stabbing at people's sides, trying to inflict serious damage to these individuals within inside this warehouse, and said that if it wasn't for him stopping them there, he was going to be going after some women as well. So it could have been a lot worse. And the thing is with these incidents is that when something isn't fatal as such, media lose focus from it. You know, it's not the big story to discuss. But this individual has not been named. This individual has not been, a face reveal hasn't came out. This individual, we don't know what the motive was. This individual we don't know anything about, nor do we have an update on this attack, despite one of the victims there describing it as absolute horrific. Now, I just want to remind you on a statement that we received at the time, and that was from one of the commanders at the police, that officers responded quickly and arrested the suspect within an hour. An investigation is now underway. Based on our initial inquiries, we believe all those involved knew each other. Therefore, we do not believe there's a wider risk to the public. And then that was it. That is it. Media silence since then. Again, I've contacted the Metropolitan Police to try and find an update. Again, nothing just yet apart from an automated email. And nothing. A week later, 8 days later, absolutely nothing on this case. And we don't know anything about it. Now, whilst they've said that they know each other, so again, is it as a former employee? Regardless, why does that instate that he goes into the Argos warehouse and causes mayhem with a Rambo knife around 7 to 8 inches long, inflicting pain? stabbing people's chests, stabbing people's necks, and trying to inflict further pain on more people if he wasn't stopped by Joseph Denton, one of the victims in this incident. So why have we not received an update? Why do we not know a little bit more about this situation? Whilst you can say an investigation is currently ongoing, there should be more updates been provided apart from the time where they arrested the individual. Why don't we know any more information? Why is there nothing else that's been coming out from this incident 8 days later, despite arrest being made at the scene? Is it because it's not fatal? I'm not sure that it works like that, that you don't provide any updates. This is a horrific crime that this individual has carried out, stabbing 5 people and looking to inflict more pain and more violence on more people within inside that warehouse, and could have been a hell of a lot worse. A hell of a lot worse if it wasn't for brave individuals within inside tackling this individual down to the ground. So why the media silence? Why the silence on this situation? Why is there no more answers 8 days later on who this individual was and what the heck he was doing inside that warehouse on that rampage? I've racked my brains over this whole case, this whole scenario, this mass attack all week, just waiting, refreshing every single day to see if there's any updates on it, and absolutely nothing. Now, again, I know these things don't take the headlines because no one got killed. And thankfully no one did get killed. But why is there no more updates? Why is there so many unanswered questions? And why is there nothing more coming from this after Joseph Denton, of course, came out and described everything? More at the scene, and again, you can take of this what you will, but a report at the time, guys, as well, did state that, this was an individual that works for GB News who interviewed Joseph Denton in the car, and as you can see in his tweet, he said, at the scene of the mass stabbing in Croydon, one of the victims describes the moment he confronted a black man in a balaclava who was attacking people with a Rambo knife. Joseph, who was stabbed in the finger, said he locked himself in the office where he heard the attack starting. He describes the moment he bravely left the room and went after the knifeman, as it sounded like people were being killed. So you can see a bit of a description there from quote unquote from Joseph Denton, although Joseph Denton doesn't actually say his identity in the video, just saying Charlie Peters, who's of course interviewed the individual, said that he was a black man in a balaclava. And now, regardless of race or where you're from or all of these kind of things, why is there no more further information on this? Why is there no more on this? It's really, really fishy to me, genuinely, and I can't get my head around it, and I can't stop thinking about this actual situation. It's horrific, but again, we're left with so many unanswered questions, and still, 8 days later, absolutely nothing. Guys, I'm going to go to the chat and take some of your reaction. Again, have you guys been thinking about this incident, or is it just me? What are your thoughts on it? What do you make of this actual incident that took place in Croydon 8 days ago? Are you still got a lot of unanswered questions? Are you still thinking about it? Well, I'm going to take your reaction down there in the comments section below, because I want to know the theories. Regardless, again, some people have this motive in mind that this individual used to work there, was treated badly or whatever, and wanted to see a manager or whatever he did. He wanted to go get revenge. He was working there. Some people have come up with that scenario. Again, that's not been confirmed. A police statement said that the individual knew with each other, but that doesn't explain a rampage, a horrific rampage with a Rambo knife trying to kill people. Regardless if they knew him or not, whether he worked there before or not, that doesn't excuse that kind of behavior. That's horrific. And a week later, 8 days later, nothing. Let's have a little look. I've got a super chat coming in from Ivan. Thank you so much for your support, Ivan. We're being gaslit as always. Let's face it. Again, yeah. I mean, look, I don't like to believe in a two-tiered justice system. Whilst it's clearly apparent that it's there, why are some things revealed instantly? Again, I always hark back to the incident on the same day that occurred. Of course, there was an attack stabbing in Plymouth on the same day, where there was a full-scale manhunt, and whilst the identity wasn't revealed on this full-scale manhunt, the individual was arrested after this 12-hour manhunt, and then his identity was revealed after this attack. 8 days later, we know nothing more. We know nothing more. I'm trying to track down Joseph Denton to try and get a follow-up story, but seemingly I'm finding it a little bit more impossible to actually get in contact with the individual to try and understand what actually went down a bit more and why the media silence with regard to it, or if he was a former worker. I want to know a little bit more information about it, because you can say, yes, an investigation is ongoing and all these kind of things. But it's a week later, or 8 days later, you can start to reveal a little bit more of an information and an update on what actually happened, regardless of this, not prejudicing a case and all these kind of things. He was an individual that was caught at the scene with a Rambo knife and many eyewitnesses and a victim that was there. So you can at least, of course, release this guy's identity and at least maybe give us an update on actually what went down in the warehouse that day, because it's horrific. It's absolutely horrific. Let's take some more comments, guys. Kieran says, what happened to that decapitation from the bus in Scotland? Again, that went silent for a while. Again, there were so many answered questions with regard to that case as well. It just disappears. But that's what I'm trying to do with this, because I was holding on to this for a little while, and I was thinking, right, 3-4 days has passed now, okay, give it the benefit of the doubt. I contacted the Metropolitan Police or this incident, and I didn't want to let it go, because the incident that occurred in that warehouse was horrific. And we as the public deserve to know what was going on and what the heck that individual was doing. That could be someone at work, or, again, they're trying to say that the individual was known to the people that were inside the warehouse. Regardless, it doesn't explain why he's going in there with a Rambo knife at 7 to 8 inches long and trying to kill people. It doesn't make any sense. It makes zero sense whatsoever. Regardless if they knew the victims, or regardless if he used to work with them or whatever's being said. And that's not even been confirmed. It just said that the victim and the attackers, or everyone involved in it, knew each other. So again, it's just so many unanswered questions, and you can understand why people start to speculate and start to question these things that go on and around the country without any real clear understanding on what's actually happening. There would be a lot more media coverage on this if an individual got killed in there. But it doesn't have to go so far where an individual actually gets killed for it to stop us talking about it. The incident was horrific. Genuinely horrific. Just listening to what Joseph Denton said, horrific. It sounded like a horror movie. Sounded like a scene out of a horror movie that happened. And nothing. No more update from this situation. Another donation, guys. Thank you so much to Ivan again. £2 donation says, there was a time this would be all over the mainstream media. Now, again, I'm surprised with the mainstream media. And again, some probably have contacted the police to try and get an understanding of what went down in there. A bit further an update. Not just the one that we got on the arrest, a grievously bodily harm and carrying an offensive weapon. The guy tried to kill people in there. What's going on? Why are we not getting any more? Let's have a little look more again. Susan says something very dodgy going on. I can't speculate any more than this, but it certainly deserved a video. Now, again, we might get an update over the next couple of days to this. But certainly, I don't want to see it get buried, because there's way too many answered questions with regard to it. And I'll keep on pestering the Metropolitan Police to see if anything comes of it. But again, absolute silence on their end. And I think I got another automated email recently saying, we'll reply to you again. If there's nothing, you don't get anything back in 28 days, then message us again. So I could be on to a dead end there, really, with the Metropolitan Police. So we'll have to find out. 51 Angelic says, I think there are so many people that forgot over a period, and this is exactly what they want. Again, the reason why I suppose I haven't forgot about it is because I reported on it, and I was horrified by the story and of Joseph Denton's account of being in there. And again, you could probably say because I'm reporting on news every single day, whether that be for 2C TV or whether that be for here on British Stand, that I'm maybe a bit more looking at always to try and see updates in certain things and trying to update you guys. So I kept with this one because it was 5 individuals being stabbed in this horrific manner. So I played, walked into an Argos warehouse and started going on a rampage. It's mental. It's mental. And the fact that I just can't get my head around it. Let's have a little look here again. Daniel Depp says, reminds me of the recent soldier attack with the face covered. You would like to try and get away with it and do it again. I mean, if someone can come on to me here right now and say that they don't have to reveal the details because no one was killed or anything like that. I was trying to research to try and understand what the rules were with regards to these kind of incidents. But of course, if someone gets killed or whatever, you do see the identity come out pretty quickly. You see that individual in Plymouth, there was a manhunt for a long time, and then his face was revealed literally 12 hours later. Now, because no one got killed here, does that mean that they don't need to reveal the individual's face? I'm not sure that is the case at all. Nor do they have to keep us updated with the story. I don't think that's the case at all, because I've seen, armed robbery suspects been revealed and show their face after they were arrested. So I don't necessarily think someone has to be killed for something to then be released or released straight away, nor an update to be provided. But yeah, again, still nothing. But yeah, I could literally keep on ranting and raving about this, and I'm not going to, but I'm going to pass it over to you guys. What do you make of this situation? Do let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Hit the like button and hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you